What's Happening in the Mother Lode. I'm Sarah.
And I'm Sarah.
And we're back for another week of very cool things to do and events and a lot of sunshine.
A lot of sunshine. And the weather's just going to get warmer and warmer at this point.
Yeah.
So summer is right around the corner. which is going to be fun. Like, it's one of those things where you dread the heat, but then there's so many more activities to do.
Yes.
And it's a completely different vibe versus, the Four Seasons.
Yeah, it is.
Barbecues, picnics.
It feels like you're on vacation.
It really does.
Up here,
It does.
Yeah, and that's the thing. Up here, you really do, even if you're working full time and doing whatever, you feel like you're on vacation during the summer. It's just got that vibe.
It really does, and especially, I think it's when kids get out of school and then you're seeing them walk around.
Yeah.
And then you see, and there's so many, just traditions that you do. Like, we do swimming lessons with our kids, and then you have camps, and then you have drives and all of that fun stuff.
Yeah, and busy, but a different kind of busy
it's
than
a different
in the
kind of
normal school year. Yeah,
exactly. So it should be fun, but I am dreading the heat. So every time
I think you were in good company, right?
I think so. It does get hot.
It is getting hotter and hotter, right? Yeah, as all of our electricity bills can attest to. Woo!
Yeah, we won't even talk about that.
No. So, but this week is Mother's Day weekend, and if you haven't got your mom a Mother's Day card, you better go get one.
Flowers are always good.
Flowers are good too, and chocolate is always good as well.
Just some hints.
Just some little hints for you. And I always think it's kind of funny when I go, because I go into the stores a lot. I don't know why, but the day before you see all these people in the Mother's Day aisle, right? Yeah. And all the cards are picked over. There's big blank spots, so get your Mother's Day card
just early. A little early. Yeah, exactly. Don't get the slim pickings.
Yeah.
So we are going to be talking about the week of May 6th through the week of May 12th, which is Friday through Thursday.
Yes.
And then some events that will just be pre-plan ahead, because it's very important sometimes to at least get your tickets, because they do sell out quick.
They do sell out quick. In fact, we have been talking about the Angels Camp Business Association fundraiser, Chicken in a Barrel fundraiser, and that was just this past week. And I just stopped for a minute, sorry. In my head, I'm like, yes, it was in, the week of May. I think it's May 4th or May 3rd was when that happened, and they sold out 5 days before May 3rd.
Wow. Which is good for them.
Which is really
bad for the people who don't plan ahead.
Exactly.
So plan ahead.
Yes. And years ago up here, you could wait until the very, very last minute, but you can't anymore.
No, you can't, especially with events being publicized on social media and things like that, where people are getting a leg up versus kind of word of mouth.
Yeah. It's so if you see something you want to go to, make sure you look into it and buy your tickets ahead of time if you can. And we have to plan a little more than we used to.
Yes, we do. Life is getting busier and busier. And why not? It kind of adds and once you have it in your calendar and it's planned out, it's a little less stress. You know exactly what you're doing. You could have dinner for May 3rd.
Yeah, exactly. You could have had dinner on May 3rd, but you didn't. So next year, if they do it, we'll be telling you about it. So our history story, our blast from the past, our digging back into the mining lore and history of our Mother Lode counties. This week, actually, we tied it to mothers. And the mothers and the women that actually came into the Mother Lode during the gold rush. Okay. Because initially, it was pretty much all men.
And it was very dominated.
Very dominated by men. It was wild. And after maybe about a year, the women started to come in, and they tamed those men very quickly. And
I am dying to hear how they did this.
Exactly. So it's actually kind of funny, because let me get to the right page here, because I switched up all my little pages. But what happened was when the women, it was like the Victorian era back then, you know, you have to remember, I think what happens is that when you think of the miners and how crazy it was, you forget that in the rest of the Western world, it was the Victorian era, which was very rigid, very, the societal rules were very cut and dry.
Exactly. And if you fell out of suit with that, I mean, there was
It
reprimand.
was not good, yeah.
And it was just, you were...
ostracized.
Yeah, exactly. It was a bad situation. So
Yeah.
especially if you go to the West, you're kind of like,
You're
whatever
already a
flies.
little wild. Yeah, exactly. Exactly. So the women started to come in and they actually, they actually tamed the miners. And the reason why is they brought education, they brought church going,
Good.
and they brought their tea.
Well, tea is very important. Very important.
And during that era, it was very much tea time for women of society. And even though the miners held on to their coffee and the men still drank their coffee, the women drank their tea. So,
Which makes sense, especially with the culture if they came from England.
yes.
Yeah, it was
and
very
had that-
embedded into them.
had that English influence. So they also, because of their training, I should say, I hate to say training, but their training in domestic duties, they were also able to make a lot of money.
Were they?
And they
now?
were respectable women making respectable money, because men, the miners, they couldn't cook, they couldn't do their laundry.
Well, yeah, especially after the last story when a guy couldn't even cook a pot of beans. So.
Exactly. So he ended up, it was not so good for him. Good for his slaves, but not so good for him.
And it was very good for these women.
Yes.
Who
Absolutely. And they all went into business. And it was a society dominated by men, but they didn't know how to cook or clean or do their own laundry. So the domestic work that was done by women, they were able to charge a premium for.
Which is smart. Good for them.
Yes.
Good for them.
Yeah. So in a diary from 1849 by a Margaret Frank, who I believe came out here to be a teacher. I'm pretty sure. I'm pretty sure. Anyway, she said in her diary, she said, and as for a woman, if she could cook at all, not even well.
Not even, oh man.
Yeah.
Just as long as you can get something into someone's stomach.
Exactly.
You're golden.
And it wasn't miner's lettuce, right? So if she could cook at all, she could get $16 per week for each man that she cooked for.
For each man.
For each man.
So that banked up
would
quick,
add up
because a
very
dollar
quickly.
was, that was way different than what our dollar is worth now. So
Absolutely.
it was one of those things where they were making
making a lot of money.
Man.
And according to one of the authors and researchers of, I think it was the Elephant Book. Sorry, I'm a little discombobulated today because there's actually a lot of women to talk about. But there was this one woman who was a freed slave.
Okay.
And they called her Aunt Marie, and she really made amazing biscuits, and she cooked really, really well, like Southern food.
Nice.
And she was able to make $100 a week cooking for the Gunn household.
Wow.
So, and the Gunn household is like the Gunn Motel is still over there. So she was able to make $100 a week, and my understanding is then she was able to parlay her biscuit making into even more money.
So she kind of started her own franchise.
Yes.
Wow,
Yeah.
good for her.
Yeah. So, and then the third woman I'm going to talk about, it's really interesting, but it really talks to the time period that men were dominant. And you have to remember, women had no rights. They did not have a right to their children.
Nope, which is heartbreaking.
And they didn't have, they really had no say-so at all. They couldn't own property. If they did own property, their husband or their father had to go through some legal sidestepping and wranglings to make sure their daughters were taken care of, or women.
Which nowadays it's heartbreaking, and you're sitting there going, you get angry, especially being a
when you
woman.
think
You're
about
like,
it now,
this is
yeah.
ridiculous. But back then, it was normal.
It was normal.
It was normal. And I mean, they had to fight to break that train of thought.
Yes, absolutely.
Which is very well appreciated nowadays.
Absolutely, for sure. But there was this one woman in Columbia, and she opened up a business where she bought and sold books, stationery, and merchandise.
I would have liked her. I would have liked her so much.
But she was married to a man who was a gambler.
Oh no. Which is
So, as a wife, you took on their debts, and they could take your money and pay their debts, right?
I would be so angry.
so irritating.
angry.
And she had children she needed to feed and the whole thing. So what happened, California has always been pretty forerunning as far as getting things passed, to help women and children and that type of thing. So what happened is she wanted to make sure that she did not have to pay her husband's debts. She could keep her own money from her own business that she made herself and feed her children and the whole thing. So she actually talked one of the legislative members of California, this was in 1852, to support a bill or to author a bill called the Sole Trader Act affidavit and of Cornelia Towle, and that was her name, Cornelia Towle. So what it would do is it would allow married women to transact business up to an amount of $5,000 in their own name without the approval of their husbands. And it allowed the woman sole control over her earnings, which was pretty amazing.
And talk about breaking that cycle.
Yeah.
So she took took her situation.
Yes.
She made it work.
Yes.
And it was kind of a
was pretty amazing.
Pioneer.
but the catch-22 was for a woman to take advantage of that act that was made into a law. The man had to sign off on the fact that she could apply to do it.
Now we step back. We were stepping forward.
So it's like forward
now we
and
step
then back. So,
no.
Yeah.
And did he sign off?
He did. He did.
Good for him.
But,
oh man.
Yeah, so there's all sorts of these amazing little stories. But I thought since it's Mother's Day weekend, and a lot of mothers, they do a lot domestically that people don't see.
No.
It's worth a lot of money. And so even back in the days of yore, they still were trying to fight for the right to be recognized for what they did. Yeah.
I mean, seriously, like there is one, if you look, I think someone posted something on Facebook or someone, it was a joke, but they were like, okay, what is your qualifications? And this woman goes, I am a cook, I'm a driver, I'm a doctor, I'm a
scheduler.
And they're like, what do you do? And they're like, I'm a mother. And it's like 100% true.
It is.
Being a mom is a full-time job, and it doesn't end. It's 24 hours a day.
24/7.
And it's one of those things that you will continue to do even when your children are grown up.
Yeah, it never ends.
It's like once you have your first,
once you
it
start,
doesn't go away.
It happens, right?
So Mother's Day is very important, people.
Yeah, exactly.
Very important.
That's why you go get the card early.
Yes. Pre-plan.
Pre-plan. But there's a lot of fun and cool stuff going on for Mother's Day, which we're going to get to in a minute, because we wanted to talk about actually the really cool places you can drive to.
Yes.
In our Mother Lode area. And one of the reasons why we wanted to mention it is because there are a lot of people who are not very mobile, right? For whatever reason. And they can still go out, and you can drive them in the car, or possibly they can drive themselves, and they can still see the beauty of our area.
And there's a lot of beauty in this area.
There's so much. There's so much. Even if you just go up the major highways and byways, right?
And especially right now with all the wildflowers. We were talking about this earlier, that it's kind of a wonky season for flowers
this year.
But you might find something you didn't see before last year, which is always a good thing.
Yeah. Yeah. So it seems like there's not a lot of wildflowers out this year, but it's worth going out and driving around and seeing what you can see.
Yep.
You know, so even if you go on Highway 108 in Tuolumne from down in the flatlands all the way up to the pass, you know,
it's quite a drive.
It's quite a drive.
But it's a beautiful drive.
It's a beautiful drive, and you're gonna see something really cool.
Yeah, you definitely will. And I mean, even if you go towards Amador, you can go up towards Volcano,
Yes.
Sutter Creek. I mean, Daffodil Hill is closed, so you can't go in there, but you can drive by there.
And then Ironstone and Murphy's, they always plant their daffodils, and it's just a beautiful place to drive around. Even if you can't get out of your car, you know, drive around there, then come back, drive through Murphy's, and even just driving through the small towns, right?
Yep. It's, I mean, like we talked about before, it's like stepping back in time.
Yes.
And it breaks the scenery up, which is always nice. And then we have, of course, we have the lakes.
Yes.
Those beautiful lakes.
Absolutely. Caples and Silver Lake up there on Highway 88. And then I think there's Lake Amador too, and that's kind of towards the flatlands where Comanche and Pardee are. And then of course there's Maloney's and there's Hogan and there's Tulik. And there are lakes up in Tuolumne, which I can't remember what they're called now.
We have a lot of lakes.
We have a lot of lakes,
Which is, it's nice. Like, I mean, you can, it's definitely seems like you get a break.
Yes.
And it seems like
absolutely.
if you just, I mean, even if you have an all day,
Yeah.
and you go all the way from Amador to Tuolumne to Calaveras, you're going to see something that's really unique. Like, you just keep bouncing around. I mean, you can see wildflowers, the lakes,
just the rolling
landmarks.
hills, the landmarks. The historical landmarks are, I mean, markers are a totally different story.
Yes.
You could just like
Spend a day mapping
looking
out
for those, right?
and then stepping out and reading them.
Yeah.
It's fascinating.
It is.
It really is.
It really is. So, so we just wanted to bring that up to you, that there's, you know, this opportunity right outside our front doors, and if you have a vehicle, you know, I know gas is kind of pricey right now.
It is, but it's
but
better
it's still
than
worth it.
it
you
is,
know.
and it's especially, I mean, as it gets hotter and hotter, if you have AC, I mean, it's nice, really, just to get out
Yes,
and drive.
just drive.
Just drive. See
Just
where
drive.
see where it
See
takes
where
you.
the road takes you. Absolutely.
And there's a lot of beautiful spots to go.
Yes, for sure.
But we do have a lot coming up, which is great.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's a huge amount of things going on. So, and I mean, it's starting on Friday.
Yes. Yes, there is. We have the plays as normal.
Yes,
So
yeah, a lot of
Baskerville is still going, and still Magnolias, which we talked about the last couple weeks. But I think still Magnolias, I think it's this last week.
Yes, I think it is.
And then Baker Street, or Baskerville still continues on for a bit. But still Magnolias, this is your last weekend to catch it. If you do want to catch it, and it's at the Sierra Repertoire Theater, again, this is a adult play, so 13 and older is what they recommend.
Yes.
And yeah, catch it out this weekend. If you're interested in, you want to contact them. The phone number is 209-532-3120. And they have showings, I'm trying to see here, on Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and Wednesday and Thursday. And it goes until May 15th.
Yeah, so that is next week.
So yeah. So if you want to see a live production of Still Magnolias, check it out before it ends.
Yeah.
Because
For sure.
I don't think they'll replay it for a bit.
No, because they change their plays frequently.
Yes.
Obviously. I mean, they're planning. They're planning all the time. So, and also as far as music goes, one of the beloved women's choruses in the Mother Lode has released their calendar, and that's the Mountain Melody Women's Chorus,
I love
which
them.
they are amazing.
They are so good.
So good. And they will be having a concert on Saturday, May 7th at 2 p.m. at Hine and Company.
Woohoo! Which is where Bakersville is at.
Yeah, exactly. So that's in Jackson. So you can go for the play the night before and then go back to Heine Company the next day for this particular concert. And then they do also for Saturday, May 14th and May 15th, just so you plan ahead. They will be on May 14th, they will be at Moke Hill Town Hall. And that's a cute little town to visit when you're there seeing them. And then also on Sunday, May 15th, they will be at the Union Congregational Church in Angels Camp. And both of those concerts are at 2 as well.
Nice,
So,
which is perfect because if you miss one of them, you have more opportunities.
Yep, absolutely.
And then speaking of more music, we have the first Friday concert in downtown Copperopolis at the Copperopolis Armory. And it is $10 to $15 for general admission tickets. And they are, I'm trying to see what band is playing. The Marino Floros band is playing this Friday, the 6th. So yeah, the door opens at 6:30, and they do this, it looks like the first Friday of the month. They have a band. So yeah, so go check them out in Copperopolis.
Very, very cool. And then the first, seemingly, well, no, not the first, the second car show that's happening this year is actually May 7th in Copperopolis. And if you've never been to the Coppertown Square, you should go and make this your chance. It is the 21st annual Lake Tulik Lions Club car show. So it actually benefits the Lions Club, which is very cool. Saturday, May 7th from 8 a.m. to 3 p.m. at the town square. And they have food, music and raffles, awards, and it's just a really, really good time.
And you get to see cool cars.
And you get to see cool cars.
You get to see a lot of cool cars.
For sure.
But you can't,
sure.
I mean, I don't know, it's, especially the people who upkeep these and their passion projects. I mean, you can just almost feel their pride coming off of a really well taken care of car.
For sure, yeah.
And to be able to open it and step in and take a look, I mean, it's neat. It really is a neat event to go to. And then, so you artist people out there, we have the adult creative classes starting, and this is for, it's in Sutter Creek. And they're going to explore different creative projects each week with an occasional guest speaker. They're going to have hors d'oeuvres, and it's $45 per class, and all the supplies are included. And if you are curious about this, you can get on Facebook and just type in adult creative classes for Sutter Creek, and it will pop up. And that starts on Friday, May 6th, and it's from 7 to 9 p.m.
Oh, cool.
So, yeah,
so
which
you can
will be
go
a lot of
after
fun.
work.
Yeah,
If you want to.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Kind of, I don't know, take a break. Get a piece of artwork to take home, which is always, it's kind of
really
fun. It really is a lot of fun.
And one of the beloved Murphy's events is actually coming back.
Woohoo!
This weekend. Mr. Frog's Wild Ride will return. Yes, on May 7th. And it is a bicycle ride. Starts at Feeney Park in Murphy's, and then you go on, depending, I think there's 3 bicycle ride choices, and depending on the choice you make, you go on a different ride.
Very cool.
And people absolutely love it. And again, you get to see the wildflowers, the rolling hills, and it's just absolutely wonderful. So, and it is Feeney Park's biggest fundraiser. So if you go on out and participate, the proceeds will go to Feeney Park, which has been a park in Murphy's forever and ever, and they do a wonderful job. They have the skate park there too. So
Which is so cool.
Which is really cool.
It
really is cool. So
Speaking of skate parks, my son just pressed his first bearings this weekend on his skateboard. So we're very much in the skate parks right now.
Yes. So
which is really cool.
And they have one over in Tuolumne County too. So just saying, next to the library.
Which is good, and it's like one of those things. I don't know. It's such like a passion to be able to learn these tricks for anyone that skateboards.
a lot of work.
I don't skateboard and I don't trust myself to skateboard. I'm like, I would be
I'd be
in the
on the
emergency
ground,
room.
I'd be
saying,
on the
why
ground,
did I do this?
What was I thinking? Yeah.
But watching my son do this, it's a lot of dedication. There's a lot of physics to how they jump.
Yes.
What kind of bearings, what kind of shoes they wear.
Yeah.
And also to have these skate parks where these kids can actually go out and practice and learn and be able to kind of conquer these fears of moving up and down and doing these tricks, because it really is needed.
It is
To
absolutely.
be able to contribute to that.
And they work really, really hard.
Yeah, they
Really hard.
do.
Yeah.
And it's
for sure.
it's not easy.
No. No.
I'm like, it's
Not at all.
it's a lot of fun. We also have a Mimosas Brunch coming up on Saturday, May 7th from 10 to 12 p.m. And it is at the Olive Crush Farms, Tasty Room and Provisions, and that's in Valley Springs behind the Busy Bee Realty on Main Street. So like you go to that four-way stop and it's over that way.
Yeah, it's over this way.
So it is
depending on which way.
Yeah, which way you're coming in. It's behind
it's
Busy
there,
Bee Realty.
yeah.
And it's for Mother's Day weekend, so it's not on Sunday, but it is if you are busy on Sunday and you still want to get your mother something, or your wife. This might be something kind of fun to go
that
to.
sounds very cool.
And it's about $50 for 2 people, and this includes your build your own mimosa flight and 1 breakfast board to share. So yeah, it's kind of
That sounds good.
and you have to be 21 or older.
Yeah.
So just heads up, 21 or older.
Okay. Yeah, gosh, there's so much.
There's so much.
And then also, this is going to be a year of events coming back, right? So you'll hear us go, and this is back again,
Which is nice to say.
Yes.
It really is nice to say that there is, we're opening back up. We
Absolutely.
are open
We
back
are
up.
open. We're open.
And we can kind of have a normalcy back,
Yes.
which is nice in
Yeah.
these traditions of events that we're so used to.
Yes.
Finally being able to be like, okay, we can
Can go back
do this.
and be in person and the whole thing. So the next Back Again event is the 12th Annual Seroptimist International of Calaveras County Chili Cook-Off and Tasting. And that's in Murphy's, Saturday, May 7th from 11 a.m. to 2 p.m. And it's only $10 for tastings.
Which is fantastic.
Which is really, really good. And all proceeds will benefit the Seroptimist programs in Calaveras, and they help women and young women with their scholarships, and just they're a wonderful organization for education and training and economic development.
Which is very, very much needed.
Yes, absolutely. And Plan B, which is a very popular band in Calaveras County, will be playing. And they'll also have raffle and event prizes. So you just go on
a whole
out there.
day event.
Absolutely, absolutely.
Which is always good. I mean, especially, you're going to get a broad range of chili. Like,
absolutely.
It's no one has the same ingredients, and every time you do these like chili cook-offs, it's so interesting on how to see how people cook what they are serving.
And it's
their
different.
personalities match it. It's
there's some that are like fire, and others that are a little mild. Yeah. So, and then they use different things, right? Too. Some are vegetarian, some have meat in them, or carnivarian.
And it's fun to see and be like, okay, you've made this, and then you start like picking out like, how do you make it?
Yeah, how do you make it? What do I taste
I got my secret.
Exactly.
Which, keep it a secret.
Yeah, exactly.
But it's still a lot of fun to get out and, I don't know, try a little different.
Try something a little different. And then,
I was going to say, speaking of dinner, and something a little different, they do have the International Dinner, which is going to be here in San Andreas.
Okay.
And it is a dinner for to support the local graduating seniors to go to college. So it's a great fundraiser.
So like a scholarship fundraiser.
Yeah, it's kind of, and it is for adults 12 and up, it's $10. Children is $5, and 2 and under is free. So it's actually, like, if you don't want to cook dinner, go get some dinner. You can buy your tickets at the community Community Church, and then you can contact them at 209-217-4959. And the tickets are also available at the door. So if you are not a planner, you can show up and do it.
Yep.
And you can also find this on Facebook. So International Dinner Scholarship. And
and that's right behind Wells Fargo.
Oh, perfect.
Right behind Wells Fargo there. So, and then another coming back event.
We will take them all.
We'll take them all is Saturday again, and that's one of the biggest events in Tuolumne County, which is the Mother Lode Roundup Parade and Rodeo. And it takes place on Washington Street and the Mother Lode Fairgrounds. They actually close off Washington Street. They've done it for years and years. And people go out, they get their chairs, they put them out hours early because the parade starts at 10 a.m. and then they save their spots and then they go back and watch the parade.
You have to. If you go to any parade, do not be the last person there.
No, because
you're not finding
very much.
You won't find a parking spot and you won't find a spot.
No, you won't.
You're like, might as well
just stay home.
Stay home. Yeah.
So
plan ahead.
Plan ahead. And then there's the Roundup Rodeo actually starts at 2. It's $22 for regular admission, $20 for pre-sale. So you still have time to get pre-sale tickets. $7 for children 7 to 12, and under 7 is free.
I will take free.
Yeah, which free is good.
Yep.
And then also at the fairgrounds on Sunday, May 8th, Mother's Day, they're doing a Mother's Day breakfast from 8 until noon, and it's only $10 per person.
Not bad.
So that's really, really good. So
it sounds like it's going to be a really, really fun event. And then we've been talking about this, and we hope you got your tickets because I'm almost 100% sure that it's sold out. We have Amador 4 Fires Food and Wine Festival this weekend on Saturday at 10 a.m. And this was you have to have the tickets ahead of time.
Yes.
So hopefully you have them and you are ready to go drink some wine and enjoy some really yummy
really
food.
Amazing food. Amazing. Yeah. And again, they're celebrating the 4 wine regions of the world, which is
I'm trying
Italy,
to
France, California, of course.
Of course.
And then we didn't mention the
gonna say,
driving, the Shenandoah Valley.
Yeah, and of course, one of our favorite places, the Amador Flower Farm.
Yes, absolutely.
And they are doing a Mother's Day.
Yes, they are. They
also.
do. Yeah, they do every year. So make sure you get on out there for that one too, because they do a beautiful job.
They really do.
They do.
Even it's like if you're just out and about driving around, it's a loop, and you can loop around, and then once you get through Shenandoah Valley, you can go up to Fiddletown, and then all of those back roads link together. It'll lead you back down to Drytown and then Sutter Creek, and you really can just go through all of these back roads all through the Mother Lode. They all link together.
And they link together.
Which is really, really neat. It's fascinating.
Yeah. It's very cool and can be a little scary sometimes.
Some of those roads. Yeah, just you gotta be
careful.
A little familiar with them.
Some of them have potholes that'll swallow your ar, so you have to be really careful.
Yes.
Most of the time,
your cell service might be a little shady.
Yeah, that too.
So just a heads up.
We don't want to mislead you.
No,
they're very cool to drive on. At the same time, you have to
bring a buddy.
Think about it. Yeah, bring a buddy. Tell somebody you're going there.
Also on May 7th, Amador, in Amador County, they're doing the Gem, Mineral, and Craft Show. And this is at the Kennedy Mine, which is a fascinating location to do this at. And they're going to have crafted jewelry, art and craft, beads and findings, woodwork, and many other handcrafted items. So if you did not plan ahead and you're looking for your Mother's Day gift, go there. It's something unique and different. So yeah, and it's going to, again, at Kennedy Mine, and it is on May 7th and 8th from 10 a.m. to 4 p.m. So check that out.
Very cool. And actually, I'm going to look something up very quickly. One of my very favorite places in the Mother Lode, I don't know if I've told you guys this before or not, is the Preston School. Preston Castle is actually what it is. So I am just checking to see if they're doing anything for Mother's Day.
I hope they are.
Yeah, usually they do. If not, make sure you go on over to PrestonCastle.org and find out about all the other cool events that they're doing.
They do tours. I believe they are opened up now to do tours.
Yeah, they are. And they do, let's see, it doesn't look like they do, but they are doing tours, public tours, private photo shoots you can book on there, nighttime paranormal
Which is right up my alley, yes.
Absolutely. And then they do photographers tours as well. And
my mother-in-law and I did one of the photography
did you?
events, and it was phenomenal. They just kind of give you access to the whole building, except for the places that are obviously unsafe to be at.
Absolutely.
And you get to just explore and take photos, and just it's really, really fun. And you get to also mingle with other photographers, and usually you take a look at what they were doing and seeing their photo later. And it's really, really a cool event if you're a photographer.
Yeah, I've heard that. I've been extremely blessed that I've done articles about Preston Castle, so I could just wander around by myself, within reason, and take photos. And just the story. The story of the castle is pretty amazing.
Yeah, because even the bricks, like if you, they have names carved into the bricks and all that. Yeah. So there's so much history still left there, and then the vibe you get just being on the grounds, which is, I don't know, it's one of those things that I love about the Mother Lode is it really is super unique, and history is kind of trapped.
It's baked in. It really is baked into the area. So one day maybe we'll do a kind of an in-depth dive for you guys about Preston Castle. Because there were people that actually helped develop it, plan it, movers and shakers, not only in the Mother Lode, but in the, American Congress and the whole thing. So, one day we'll do that. I was hoping they would have a Mother's Day thing, but they do have a Halloween thing, but we'll get to that.
We'll get there a little bit later. Yeah. That might be a little too early to plan.
A little too early, yeah. But you got to get your tickets early for that one, too.
Yes, you do. That one does sell out very, very fast.
For sure.
So, going back to Mother's Day, we do have the Mother's Day brunch in Ironstone, at the Ironstone Vineyards in Murphy.
Yeah.
And again, this is even if you just want to do a drive-by, they have beautiful flowers.
Gorgeous.
But if you do want to go into the event, here is a wonderful one. So it's a Mother Day brunch. It's $65 all inclusive, $20 for children 4 to 12 years old, and 3 and under are free.
Yeah.
And it's from 9 a.m. to 1:30 p.m. And it's at the Ironstone Vineyards in Murphy.
Yes.
And they have mimosas and champagne, and I'm trying to pull up the little menu here. I think they'll have a menu you can take a look, but it looks like a really fun event to take your mom to.
Yes. And, a lot of the restaurants are offering really wonderful Mother's Day menus. Murphy's Hotel, there's camps in Angels Camp, and then I believe, in Sutter Creek, there's the American Hotel, I believe, is doing something. So there's
Sutter Hotel is
Sutter Hotel. That's
yep.
That's it. And then over in Tuolumne County, I believe the Groveland Hotel, and also Yosemite. I mean, the Well, I don't know if it's called the Iwani anymore, but that's what I call it. Okay, despite what the state of California and all of them say, they have just wonderful food and wonderful event for mothers for a special time.
And it's really, the restaurants around here are locally owned. And again, they have their own personalities, and the management and owners have definitely put their own vibe into their food and love. And they're really good. Like, all of them are really good. So I think anywhere you choose is always. It's making me hungry. My stomach's starting to go.
I'm hearing your tummy.
So I do have the Camps restaurant at Greenhorn Creek pulled up.
That's it.
And they do have a Mother's Day brunch from 10 a.m. to 3 p.m. It's $54 per person, $26 for children 12 and under. And I am looking to see if they have a phone if you want to make reservations, because it is recommended for the Camps restaurant. It's 729-8181. And that's in Angels Camp. So that should be a lot of fun.
And yeah, any of the little towns too are just really, really cool. I'm kind of looking around. But believe us, we do look around before we actually.
It's one of those things which I love about this show is we do figure out, because when we started doing the research and why this show was created in the first place was because we have so many wonderful events that happen in the Mother Lode, but they were never compiled into one place.
And it's really difficult.
It's really hard. And one of those things about the research is we find this information, and unless we spend multiple hours of typing this all up, a lot of it is just Facebook and other places, and we compile it together. So if you're seeing us,
see us go, it's because we just thought of, oh, wait a minute.
What do we know of an event? Which is always, it's a good thing.
Yeah.
But it is a little bit interesting how we come up with it. So,
and that's why we'd love to actually hear your ideas too, you know. And we know you guys have a lot of events out there that you go to, that you know about. And if you share them with us, then at least we can get them to as many people as we can as well. So,
and if we have an inside view, especially if we haven't gone to one of these events, it's always nice. It's always nice to know.
Yeah. And there's just so much.
It's so much. And then, so how about Master Gardeners? Master Gardeners of Amador is doing its annual plant sale.
Yes.
Which is important, especially if you have a garden and you are still trying to fill it out.
Yeah.
And that's happening this May 7th at 9 a.m. to 3 p.m.
Yep.
And they will be at, trying to figure out the location. Popping it up right now.
We're out near the...
they're on Jackson Gate Road in Jackson, and it will be in the back of their offices for in-person visits and sample drop-offs. And they will be, if you have any questions and you want to get in contact with them, you can call them at 209-223-6838.
Yes, and they know any question you might ask, even though you may feel like it's maybe a question anybody should know and you don't know, make sure you call them, because they make you feel like it's perfectly okay to ask that question, and they are so full of knowledge and they go through so much training.
They really do.
Amazing.
And it's so crazy. Like if you have a dying plant and you call them up, they'll tell you how to fix it. And then you're like, oh, thank you.
You're like,
Thank
wow,
you.
wow. Yeah, exactly.
That was way easier than what I was going to put into that.
For sure. For sure.
Also on May 7th in Amador is the household hazardous waste collection. So if you are planning ahead and you are cleaning up for Mother's Day weekend, and you have things that you can't usually get rid of, you can go to the Buena Vista Waste Transfer Station in Ione and dispose of it.
Yes.
And they take pretty much everything that is, trying to see here, gasoline, brake fluids, batteries, and then paint and thinners, so a whole bunch of usually the stuff that you can't get rid of.
Yeah.
And that's happening this weekend on Saturday. So, which is kind of nice. It's kind of refreshing to be like, okay,
I just go out there,
get rid of
all the stuff. Get rid of all the stuff, because you don't want that in your house. Not at all. Not at all. So I think, do you have anything more for
the weekend?
For this weekend? Because
I think I am done.
We have, the farmers markets are starting. That's why I'm asking. I just want to make sure we're done with the events.
I think I'm done with this weekend.
Okay.
Oh, no, I don't. I have one more thing. So in Yosemite, they are doing a naturist walk, and it's a historical center cultural history walk, which sounds really cool.
Really cool.
It would be really cool.
Really, yeah.
And they're going to be doing, they're going to be offering an introduction to the many cultures that influence the development of that area.
Cool.
And it's from April 23rd to May 8th. So it's actually the last weekend.
Yeah.
And it's 12 to 2 p.m. On this Saturday. And it is, the experience level is easy. So they say it covers different content, yet is an easy walk, which is fantastic, because not everybody wants to go uphill all day.
Exactly.
And so it looks like it's about 5 to 1 mile, depending on what you want to do. It's a round trip at an elevation of about 4,000 feet if you do have an issue with elevation. And they have a pre-registration, and it's $10 per person for the advanced registration, which is really neat. Like, and just to go to Yosemite, and that's one of those places, even if you want to go for a drive,
Yes,
Yosemite is a great location to
Yeah.
go to.
And you can still see things right from the car, which is really, really nice. So I did mention, I have to put my glasses back on, the farmers markets are starting.
Yes, they are. Woo-hoo! I'm so excited.
So the first one that we found is actually Friday, May 6th. So we're going back in time a little bit as we're talking to you from 4 p.m. to dusk. This is the Peaceful Valley Farmers Market in Sonora, and it's at 14888 Peaceful Valley Road, and it will go on every Friday until October 14th. So many of the farmers markets, what they do is when they begin, it's every Wednesday or every Friday or every Sunday morning. I believe Murphy's is on Sunday morning, and then Angels Camp has theirs on Friday night too.
Which
and
is
they
neat.
have music, and you can grab dinner there, and so it really is wonderful down there at Utica Park.
Which is really cool because with all of these towns, I know Amador does it, Tuolumne, I think Calaveras does it, where they kind of coexist, where you're always able to get fresh produce.
Yes.
From a different market or a different farmer's market, which is neat because you can just drive around, get your produce, enjoy the community.
Yeah.
And then you can't get any fresher.
Yes.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
And then
Absolutely.
the other farmer's market that is starting up is in Sutter Creek, and it actually starts up on May 14th and it goes through October 15th.
So that one's starting early.
So, yeah, and then everything else seems like it's starting around June. So these are the ones that you can kind of hit up now.
Yes.
I imagine that their produce will be a little bit towards the spring harvest.
Yes. Yeah.
And then as we get more into June, you'll be able to have a spring and summer harvest, depending on who's producing.
Yeah.
But the Sutter Creek one is from 9 to noon, and it is at the Main Street Plaza, which is kind of, I believe it's the parking lot is,
Okay.
if I believe right.
Probably,
So next to
yeah.
the post office. Last year, I think that's where they were having it, unless they changed it up. And it's neat. You just go and support your local farmers and get really super fresh food.
Yes. And with a lot of these, you can also every week purchase a community box where they pack it for you. I know on Calaveras Grown, you can actually shop their online farmers market.
I saw that. That's all year round.
Which is all year round, and it's very, very cool. So whatever's fresh that particular time of year, that's what you get. And they also, many times they'll include little recipes in there or point you to
so
what you
neat.
can, how you can cook this fresh, and prepare this fresh vegetables and fruits and that type of thing. So remember, there's that opportunity too. If you can't actually get to the farmers market to shop yourself, many of these have a community box, I call it a community box program, and they pack your boxes for you, and then you just come and pick them up, or they go to a central location and everybody comes and gets their CSA boxes.
That's nice. Yeah, and that's one of those things where, I mean, you have to love this community.
Yes,
I mean, we definitely look
absolutely.
out for everybody. And it's one of those things where knowing where your food comes from,
Oh yeah, for
Is-
sure.
it really is a benefit.
It is. It is.
Especially towards your health, towards your family, towards all of it. Now, planning ahead, we've talked
Yes,
about
we've
this
talked about this
multiple
before.
times. Next Saturday, so May 14th, from 9 a.m. to 12 p.m. is a free dog and cat rabies vaccination and microchipping clinic
Yes.
here in San Andreas at
Yeah.
the government center. It's for only Calaveras residents,
Yeah.
but it does fill up. And so you just bring your cat or your dog, you get in lines, and they tell you where to go, and then they vaccinate them, or they give the rabies vaccination and microchipping if you need it.
Yes,
And
absolutely.
it's super easy, and just plan ahead though, because it does take some time, because
get
all
in
of
there.
this does, I mean, especially if someone has multiple pets that they're
Yeah.
having looked at, that it does take a little bit of time. So do plan ahead, and again, just bring a book or
just
someone, a buddy to talk
to
to.
talk to, keep yourself occupied. And before I get to the next event, actually, I wanted to mention the microchipping, because I just found out about this. Another benefit of the microchipping, which I thought was kind of amazing. Now, I don't know about you and the pets in your house, but my 2 cats, one of the cats will eat the other cat's food. If he's allowed to. So you literally, I just sit there and watch them eat their dinner every night to make sure he doesn't steal food from his sister, right? Okay. So as in, I don't know what the company's name is, but there's a tech company that has developed a feeder that will allow it to read a microchip inside of a certain animal and only open for that animal. So, yeah, if you're not that, yeah, exactly.
In my head, I'm picturing just some bullying situations happening. Where it's like, the other cat's like, use your microchip.
Use your microchip.
Use your microchip. Now it's my food.
Exactly. But anyway, it just opens up for that particular pet.
Talk about technology.
Isn't that
That's
crazy?
Crazy.
I was like, wow. Because I don't only think about microchips as if your cat gets or dog gets lost or something happens. But, opening a food bowl.
That is completely fascinating to me.
And amazing.
And also, amazing that they're able to take this.
To even think about that, yeah.
Which makes sense because especially if you have a cat or a dog that
bullies the other one and
overeats and all of that stuff.
That's food anxiety.
Yeah, and I imagine you can put times, you can put all of that. Talk about technology just being super helpful.
Isn't that crazy?
That is so crazy to me.
So that was a little side jaunt. But another really cool event coming up is put on by the Calaveras County Garden Club, and it's going to be the 7th annual Tablescape Show and Scholarship Luncheon.
We talked about this before, and it sounds amazing.
It does. It sounds really, really cool. May 11th at Ironstone, $48 per person, includes a 3-course plated lunch, and people are decorating their tables. So they're all unique, and they're really cool, artistic, and so if you're into that at all, it benefits the scholarship group, the scholarships for the Calaveras County Garden Club, and make sure you get your tickets early because that one's another one that is very popular.
That's why we talk about it a little ahead of time.
Yep, for sure.
They also have coming up, we do have some 5K walk and runs, which is a lot of fun because the weather's getting nice and warm, and these are very unique ones because they are the color runs. So, which is a fun family event to go to. So the first one I have for you is the Color Me Happy 5K Walk and Run. And it's not this Saturday, but next Saturday, May 14th at 9 a.m. It's in Jackson. Its event is put on by Operation Care in Amador County. And so all the proceeds go to help their cause. And it is, trying to find the information. But if you are interested in it, you can register or call for registration, or you just call 209-223-2600, or you can email information at operationcare.org. And again, it's one of those really cool events where you get to go, and the prices are $17 and under are free. Oh, cool. Anyone over 18, it's $15. You can do a family pack for 2 adults and 2 minors for $20.
Oh, cool.
And then the run time is from 10 a.m. And fun run walk is from 10:30. So you start at 10 if you're going to do the full walk, or if you're going to do the running, and if you're going to do just kind of the leisure walk and run, it starts at 10:30. So that way it kind of branches out to people who want to be timed. And it will start at the Jackson Theater parking lot. Yeah, so that's
a good one.
Yeah, it's coming up pretty quick.
For sure.
And then we also have the next 5K run, which is also happening on the same weekend.
Oh, wow.
So you can choose from either one. It's the Bed Bug Challenge 5K Color Run. And this is going to help out the I Own Elementary Science Camp fundraiser.
Oh, cool.
So, and it's homecoming weekend also.
Oh, nice.
For I Own, it's homecoming.
Yeah. That's a pretty big event down there.
It is, and I think a lot of the Mother Lode, we're going to start coming up with some homecoming events.
Yeah.
And so it's to help with the 5th grade science camp. And it starts from 7, or check-ins from 7 to 8 a.m. and the race starts at 8 a.m. And trying to find out how much they're looking. they don't have a price on here, but you can find them on Facebook. And then you can, just look up the Bedbug Challenge 5K color run. And that's at the Castle Oaks Golf Course.
Oh, okay. So that's right near Preston Castle.
Yep, exactly.
Just so
you can
know.
see the castle
You can
while
see
you
the
run.
castle. That's right. That's right. You sure can. You sure can. So also, just like fast forwarding ahead a little bit, the summer concert seasons are actually beginning. Woo!
I love music in the park. I
Yes.
love like anything that has to do with, I don't know, kind of enjoying your
outdoorsy,
nice warm summer nights.
Yeah. So FM on the Green, which is Forest Meadows up there above Murphy's, is starting, and they're having their first concert on May 14th, and it will be all shows from 6 to 8:30. Please bring your own chair. There's no cover charge.
Nice.
And it's just a really fun event, and it will go through till October.
That's fantastic.
Yeah,
that's
so you
one.
can plan it too. So that's another,
It's one of those
Fridays.
ones where, it kind of becomes a ritual.
Yes,
You
absolutely.
picnic in the park, you listen to a band.
Yeah,
It's always
for
fun.
sure, for sure.
Speaking of another band,
Actually, it's Saturday, sorry.
oh, sorry.
Yeah.
Saturday,
We're
not
talking
Friday.
over each
No,
other now.
Saturday.
Yeah.
Speaking of bands coming out, they do have the 2022 West Side Tribute Band Brewfest
Oh,
in
that's
Tuolumne.
huge,
Yep,
yeah.
and plan ahead.
Yeah.
And this one's actually on May 21st, and it's from 1 to 6 p.m. And it kind of gauges between $15 to $60 per ticket, depending on who you are.
Yeah, where you're sitting and
yeah.
what's going on, yeah.
So, and they have a whole bunch of vendors and things like that will be there, but do plan ahead. You can find information on Facebook. Obviously, you can go to the events and find that. And then I'm trying to see if they have a website.
I'm thinking that might be the one, if I'm thinking of the correct event, I think it was last year, or maybe a couple years ago, that Snoop Dogg came out.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, apparently he was golfing up here.
That's really
And
cool.
I don't know if he was slated to come on or not.
He just
But he came out. Yeah, I guess he likes to golf, and he likes to golf in Tuolumne County.
We will take it.
Yeah, we'll take it. So that was kind of a fun little celebrity sighting up here. And actually, there's a lot of those.
There really is. I mean, again, it's one of those things where the Mother Lode just kind of sucks people in.
Yes.
And it's
people really
different
enjoy
than
it, yeah.
different than a lot of places in California. It's its own unique vibe.
Yeah.
I mean, we're all very friendly people.
Yes.
And I don't know, you just can't.
Yeah, it's
not
just
love us.
enjoyable to come. That's all.
And, so you can find tickets at the Eventbrite if you want to find buy tickets there. But
tickets, so you can
otherwise
find
just
that.
look online.
Okay. And then also Saturday, May 14th, Focus, which is the Friends of Calaveras Animal Services, who puts on the free rabies and chipping events. They are having a bocce ball tournament and fundraiser at Murphy's Park at the bocce ball courts. Saturday, May 14th from 10 to 5:30, and it's, put my glasses on for this one, $50 donation per team, and there's a 40-team maximum.
So if you do play, get ahead of time because you're going to want to get in on that.
Yeah, and they said that they do want people to register by May 10th. So contact Patty at thespicetin.com or call 209-728-8225, or it looks like you can stop in the Spice Tin and talk about the bocce ball tournament. So, and then last but certainly not least is Frog Jump is coming.
Woo woo! That's right. That is
right
coming
around the
so
corner.
fast.
Absolutely. And we have the lead up, the lead up events. Saturday, May 14th is the Junior Frog Jump and the jump at Utica Park from 11 to 2, $2 per jump, which is not bad.
Not bad at all.
Not bad. It's frog jumping for kids through 8th grade. It's a great way for them to get involved with the frog jump. And then the winner qualifies for the frog jump finals on Sunday at the fair. So
Which
that's
is
on May
huge.
22nd.
It's huge.
Yes.
And we're actually airing
Yes.
some of these the
footage
right now.
Yeah.
And I was
Yeah.
watching one where one of the kids was trying to get at the
Yeah.
hop, and I'm like, it's just adorable.
Yeah.
It just really
Yeah,
is.
it's super cute. And then the youth parade is going on in downtown Angels Thursday, May 19th at 10 a.m. And the theme this year is Dancing with the Steers. So you can dress like a frog, you can dress like a steer, anything cow-like, I guess, would work too.
Yeah.
So that's always a fun event to go to or participate in, and it is the 75th annual youth parade.
That, which is crazy. It's been going on for that long.
Yes, absolutely. And then the fair itself takes place the third weekend of May every single year. So make sure you get on out there too and plan for that weekend too, because there's a lot of cool events and things to do. And go out and
they have a lot
stuff.
of really cool vans, and a lot of vendors, a lot of food.
Absolutely. They're
lot
going to knock
just
it out of the park this
much
year.
stuff. Yes, and especially after COVID and kind of getting back to the normal. This is
Yeah.
We're all back to normal.
All back to normal.
And I will take it.
So I think that's about it for this edition of What's Happening in the Mother Lode. And again, if you have any events or just want to contact the studio for any reason, contact us at calpeg7@gmail.com or call us at 209-754-4021. We always love to hear from you.
We really do.
Yes, so have a good week, you guys.
Bye.
Bye-bye.